Hey, education is elevation, and the purpose of this live, it's our educational purposes actually. It's just meant to be thought provoking, you know. Gonna be standing behind pretty much every claim I make, definitely. But it's meant to be thought provoking and to get us to be more reflective about how we interpret particular men, especially when it comes to thinking about empathy. Now, just to make sure that we all are working from the same working definition of empathy before I start playing these videos, I would just, like to make sure we all working, I feel like, from the same place. So when I say empathy, I'm talking specifically about, how it's defined, specifically how it's defined, the ability to understand and share the feelings of one another. So when we ask the question, should we feel sorry for Tory Lanez? Should we feel sorry for Kevin Samuels? Should we feel sorry for Andrew Tate? We have to ask the question is who? You know what I'm saying? Who? You recognize that there's I feel like there's a popular saying that says that one person's terrorist is another person's patriot, or one person's patriot is another person's terrorist. And recognizing that different people have subjective perceptions over Kevin Samuels, Andrew Tate, and Tory Lanez, I'm asking the question, you feel me? Should we feel sorry for different individuals when they fall upon shortcomings? What is prompting this live is that I made a video on Facebook. And from the video that was made on Facebook, there was a lot of people in the comment sections, going back and forth. What the tweet said that started the Facebook video was, brothers, let Tory Lanez, Andrew Tate, and Kevin Samuels serve as lessons. You know how utterly foul you have to be if this many people rejoice in your arrest, incarceration, or death. These are not the men to pattern your lives after. This is not what you want. And making this analysis on this Facebook video, there were a lot of individuals that made, I think, very misinformed responses and comments. In this, I'll make a clear disclaimer. I think that it shows more value, or I think it speaks more volumes on your character than it does to mine when you hear a misogynistic analysis about misogyny, and you equate that, you feel me, to something else. Without further ado, though, we're gonna get right into it. Again, it's facts over feelings. We're gonna be asking the question starting off is this: is the top G, what many people refer to as the top G, is the top G being caught up in the matrix? Is he being set up? That's what some people are begging the question. After you watch this video, you feel me, we're gonna answer that question.
So let's first take a look from his own words, what he says.
Found this little webcam thing. I text all my girlfriends. They're all coming here to live with me. All 5 flew in. This bitch, I'm like, she's my girlfriend. She's my girlfriend. She's my girl. You're all my chick. And you're going to stay here and we're going to make some money. 3 left, 2 stayed. We started this little webcam business from my apartment. Got to the point where at one point I had 75 women working for me in 4 locations. I had one girl and she got too drunk one day and she threw up in my apartment.
Hey, now, I was taught in my little southern, west side of Bryan, Texas, that quote unquote men, or real men, take responsibility and accountability. Even in the hood, most people say, if I do the crime, I will do the time, right? That's what most of the real street dudes I was raised around anyway would say. Right now, we have a lawyer that I'm showing you the video of, a lawyer giving you kind of an illegal analysis in terms of implication, in terms of the alleged criminal acts being, being had. This is what we're getting into.
And I told her to clean up. She refused to clean up. Start being an idiot. So I took her stuff, threw out the window. If all the other girls see me be disrespected, you're going to lose respect for me. I didn't want to fire her, which is more reason why I had to fire her ass. Got her shit out the window. Set her out the window. Got her by her 2 arms and marched her out the door, locked the door. Texted me, you owe me my last month's wages. I ain't paying you nothing. She went to the police and told the police I hit her.
This is how it starts. This is how law enforcement involvement with him starts.
5 in the morning, 4 months later, I heard the...
Now, when you watch the rest of this video of this lawyer just giving you all the evidence that Andrew Tate has given to the authorities himself, I want you to ask this question. Is Andrew Tate being set up? Is Andrew Tate being caught up in the matrix? To all my top G fans, to all the people that believe that he speak the truth, and this is just a result of him being silenced or them attempting to silence him, and that he was given, he saw this already. He said, first thing, we're going to try to counsel him. Second, they were going to try to jail him. And if that didn't work, they were going to try to unalive him. Remember that he said that, right? Answer the question again. When I play this video and press play, does this sound like somebody that is innocent and that is caught up in the matrix? or somebody that's dry snitching on themselves?
Please. There's a few things I can't say on the podcast. I've lived a varied life.
That is a form of self-snitching. That indicates that there's things out there that are illegal that he's done.
I've done some things when I had to pay the bill. What's this going to be? So I like to flush my phone down the toilet quickly.
So I destroy evidence. Flush my phone down the toilet.
So I'm trying to hide shit. I'm looking around. What do I have to hide? Dude?
I'm hiding shit. I'm destroying evidence. One of the problems that you have with a guy like this is there's a treasure trove of statements that he makes that
Hey, man, like Billy Ray say, not everything is conspiracy. And part of my motivation in making this video is to talk about how people get lazy as hell when it comes to concocting the conspiracies. One would have to ask themselves sometimes the question, like, what is the motive for the quote unquote system to go after this individual? You know what I mean? What had this individual done or laid out for this person to be quote unquote stopped or silenced? And, you know, is this person being silenced or are they being arrested? Or is this person being criminalized for actions they did, or are they being counseled for the actions they did? And do we think that every individual that is incarcerated, that's been convicted of a crime, quote unquote, went through the process of being counseled? Some questions to ask yourself. But let's get back to this video.
can use to impeach him with if he ever decides to testify.
But of all these chicks just stuck in their house, sitting there bored, and of course they don't go out. They're not allowed out.
So, and all these chicks, they're in love with me. They don't go out. They're not allowed out. Restricting somebody of their movement is part of force, fraud, or coercion.
You stay in the house. You don't go nowhere. You don't, no restaurant, no club, nothing.
Do you get to eat? Do you get to take a shit? When you start controlling somebody like that, that is the crux of you come here on a promise, but when you get here, I control your every movement. That's coercion.
Forget the sex part. Start beating the shit out of you. I grab you by your neck, start annoying me, trying to resist. I just
That is who he's got to be in order to control these women, in order to keep the money coming in. Because he was broke before, right? Now he's making money off the backs of all these ladies brought to him because they're in love with him. Their movement is restricted.
Hey, man. Right now in this day and time, I know a whole bunch of old school gangsters, a whole bunch of OG drug dealers and pimps that's looking at a lot of these new school gangsters, drug dealers and pimps like, hey, listen, if you're going to lead a life of crime, at least kind of stick to the code. We have individuals that's claiming this man as being the top G and being the speaker of truth. And we got him in multiple videos telling on himself. Now, when I ask the question, should we feel sorry for these men? Going first with the top G, Andrew Tate, does this sound like a person that we should be sad for in terms of being incarcerated? What is he being incarcerated for, Mr. Lee? I'm glad you asked that damn question. He's being incarcerated for alleged human trafficking, rape, having a criminal organization. Now, based off the videos that we're seeing, how much will we be able to, you feel me, see in terms of evidence being had of him? Does this sound like an innocent man, or this sound like a man that's committed crime? Not only just committed crime against women. See, what I found is that most individuals that got beef with me talking about Andrew Tate, you get your sense of maleness, your sense of humanity, your sense of masculinity for being able to dominate women in particular. So I think that when you deploy the terminology of simping, I think that you're more of a simp because your identity is defined on how you dominate other people. And the people that you look up to are shitty examples for how you should relate to women, how you should exert your manhood and masculinity. We're going to keep it going, though, because we got another tweet, you feel me, that's also kind of motivate this video, you feel me? Shout out to It's Obia F. They said, I've realized that many men don't see misogyny as a systemic thing. They think women are just angry about things, and these things are natural. Let's let the lawyer get back to speaking what he said as y'all chew on that.
And they're beaten. That is slavery. One of the issues that you're going to have for somebody that has multiple citizenship is whether they're a risk of flight or not.
If I fuck up, England wants me in jail, I can fly a Nigerian passport, or an American, or an English. I have so many passports. Are you going to block them all?
He's got so much content that's out there that it just flouts any notion that he's not a flight risk.
We define what empathy is. When we ask the question, because, you know, a lot of times I'm going to come at this from a black standpoint, right? A lot of the ways in which us as Black people are able to identify with the other Black people that are brutalized by the system is because we recognize that can be us. We recognize that when it comes to having empathy and sympathy for the violence that happened, we recognize that we are the bodies or the subjects that the violence acted upon. When I ask the question, should we feel sorry for this man? We're dealing with the first man that we're talking about right now, Andrew Tate. Do y'all not recognize that women, when he talk about women, can recognize like, damn, that could be me. That could be me. I'm giving an analysis about power and domination, and shout out to Beast Nation for that nice little sticker right there. I definitely appreciate you for what I'm saying, for giving me that little sticker for this labor I'm doing. But peep game though, right? If we can recognize when violence happens, that it happens gratuitously, unwarranted, because of the body that you have, we have to be able to recognize some type of sympathy for the women or the bodies that have no empathy or sympathy for what has happened to Andrew Tate specifically. Now, we know that we keep on going. You feel me? We have other videos in terms of what Andrew Tate has attested to, what he has spoken with, you know what I'm saying? Shit, drop his balls. And has made many claims about owning women and being over women. So I've made another YouTube video in the past that asked the question, if can you critique or disagree with somebody that you agree with in the past? And when it comes to a lot of the young, impressionable men, a lot of the overgrown men that are very impressionable as well, to Andrew Tate or Kevin Samuels or Tory Lanez, to me, it's almost like, hey, man, this individual, you know what I mean, was speaking truth on Monday through Wednesday, and they start getting foul, wild, immoral, unethical, dehumanizing, you feel me, later in the week, we don't care about that, because Monday through Wednesday, they said some real shit. They said some real shit, and we can't ignore the truth they said, because, you know, they did a little human trafficking. They did a little, they engaged in a little dehumanizing. They devalued. We don't care about that. They don't negate the truth they had. To me, it sounded literally like white supremacy tells me, hey, Mr. Lee, we don't care about all of the enslaved women that Thomas Jefferson had. You feel me? We don't care about the enslavement Thomas Jefferson did. They see him as the father of education, and he was a good man, and you are being insensitive, or you are being too sensitive if you can't recognize this individual did good and you can't see the good with their bad. Y'all literally take on the same tools of white supremacy. You feel me? And that's the reason why I always bring this up in different videos. The alt-right pipeline for not only young, impressionable men, but men of color. Let's keep these videos going, though, because I know my motto is research over me search, facts over feelings, and we're going to always try to provide the receipts for analysis that we give, right? Keep it going, though.
Gender war going on within the Black community. Black women are speaking out against the violence that they experience at the hands of Black men, and Black men feel attacked. You're literally not being attacked. We're just telling the truth.
This right here is an analysis about power and domination. Asking the question, should we have empathy for the men that exert their power and domination on other individuals? That's what we're asking. A lot of people will interpret this video as engaging into gender wars. There's another quote that I think is very appropriate in this time right now. This quote said that, I can't remember who was by, but it said that women being oppressed is tradition, men being oppressed is tragedy. I'm gonna repeat the quote. Women being oppressed is tradition, men being oppressed is tragedy. When we seen that person right there, this talk, that's Hoochie God. If y'all ain't follow, y'all make sure y'all go follow Hoochie God. If you're looking for a nonprofit to support the Hoochies of Texas, y'all should go, you know what I'm saying, check them out, go Google it. But what she's talking about is there is no gender war that is happening. When Black women or women writ large talk about male domination, that's not them waging war. This quote acknowledging that oppression to men is seen as a tragedy and oppression to women is seen as a tradition. A lot of the analysis that point out that is seen or reduced down to being waging a gender wars. Or literally it's like, hey, when women are being paid less on the dollar, when women are being brutalized, women are being devalued, that's not seen as a gender war. The gender war is only seen when the resistance or the pushback happens. Ooh, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of wild. And that's when I bring in my analysis that I always make as well about plantation patriarchy. And too, hey, for all of this, you know what I'm saying, for all of the quote unquote anti-simp advocates in the comment section, for everybody that's gonna see this video afterwards, the dude, mediocre, MTR, mediocre, whatever you call his name, light skin cuts with the glasses, let him know I'm still want to have a nice civil debate about male domination and about, you know, misandry and misogyny. He can pick whether I speak first or last. He can pick the speech time. I'm still want to have that debate and think that it would be a nice debate for educational purposes to have, to see, for the people to see me intellectually kind of wipe the floor with you a little bit. But, you know, enough of my masculine male ego, getting back to the analysis, because, you know, the education is elevation. And if you ain't been, you know what I'm saying, to the website check to get your professional shit talker hoodie, I definitely want to encourage you to do that. But just to make it clear, there is no gender war, just like there is no culture war. When Black people started pointing out that white supremacy and Eurocentrism devalue the way that we speak, the way that we think, the way that we move, that is not waging no gender war. That is us pushing back against white supremacist oppression. So when you start to be able to make these analyses about power, about access, about resources, and you're making that and you're thinking that, hey, man, these women is to blame why I can't live the way my granddaddy lived. You are part of the problem. Not only is you part of the problem, you're not as intellectual as you think you is. But let's keep on cooking, though. Shout out to the Hoochie guy and everybody in Houston, Texas. Education is elevation. Yeah, Kevin Samuels. When Kevin Samuels was alive, I had the same energy that I have right now for and about Kevin Samuels. In my hood, we call that being a real nigga. You see what I'm saying? In your hood, I don't know what they call it. You know what I mean? Also want to say this. Listen, I don't give a damn who you is, what relationship you have to me, how you start to follow me. What I'm about to say about this man, if you feel like it didn't move your spirit enough or it causes you harm or trauma, you can unfollow, move on, and do what you got to do, because I'm not going to stop giving the analysis. I'm not going to try to tiptoe around eggshells when it comes to making this analysis. And like I quoted at the beginning of this video, talking about interpretation, talking about subjectivity. One person's patriot is another person's terrorist. Y'all understand that right there, you feel me? You understand the duplicity of that, right? Kevin Samuels. Both of us graduated from the University of Oklahoma. Thought I'd point that out.
2 kids.
So it's just the 2 kids.
No, it's not just, it's big. I mean, you're 30 years old and all this career stuff. Where, how many different fathers?
1.
Okay. How come you and he didn't get married?
I was so young when I was in that relationship, so I met him when
How
I
old
was
is your oldest
young.
child?
10.
How old is your youngest?
7.
So you were 23. That's
when I had my daughter, yeah. So my kid's father,
Hey, this was funny right here. Hey, Steve-O, y'all in the comment section, y'all let me know. Was Kevin Samuels married twice? Does Kevin Samuels have kids? When Kevin Samuels is making analysis about how women are damaged goods because they are divorced and they have kids, how many households and or damaged goods did Kevin Samuels create? How many? Let's talk facts. The facts. Because, you know, we don't want to deal with opinions. Let's deal with facts. So when I go back to this video, and we get the saying and plan was in this video, let's really think about the facts, right? Because facts over feelings, research over me search, you know. Let's deal in facts.
older than me.
But listen to what I'm about to say. You were younger, you were old enough to make babies. Yeah. First one at 20, even though I'm not okay with it, you can let it slide. But the second one, man, that's a choice. Why didn't you?
No, we were in the, I was with him for 6 or 7 years.
But you weren't his wife. And that's
Huh. But you wasn't his wife. Maybe there'll come a time, you feel me, in social media where we can make analysis about the older men that make all these claims and all these declarations about marriage and they're not married. When are we going to be able to have a conversation about men that say, hey, the reason how you get your value is how you orient to a man, and we see you died getting a quickie? What does it mean to talk all this nonsense about fat black women and how they should take care of themselves, and you die as a result of not taking care of yourself? So when I ask the question, should we feel sorry for them? If you are a overweight black woman with 4 or 5 kids with 2 or 3 baby daddies, and you see this man was able to build a career off of literally your back and what you've done or not done, do you think this person will have empathy for this individual in death? Huh? So when it comes to respectability politics, do you not sound like the same thing that's contradictory, where, hey, America will say we cannot celebrate the death of anybody because we got to have respect. But then as soon as Saddam Hussein is seen dead, everybody's celebrating. How does that make sense? How does it make sense that you're able to applaud a man in life as he applauds and celebrates the downfall and or shortcomings, struggles, trials, tribulations of black women, and that's seen as some cool, admirable shit? But when he dies, those same exact women have something to say. All of a sudden, you're the respectability police. Huh? What? Oh no, man. That's when we start saying we don't have time for it. But listen though, maybe you don't like the way I'm saying this, so we're gonna give it to you a different way, because sometimes people got to hear things from different perspectives and different, you feel me, vantage points to be able to really understand what's being said. So if you didn't understand how I said it, let's see how you said it.
This man spent his entire career online dragging and demeaning black women, asking women what their weight was, dragging them for being fat, dragging them for being undesirable, dragging them constantly. And now y'all are upset.
And when you ask the question, when he says being fat, being undesirable, who are y'all looking at black women through the lens of, right? Right now, I have on my glasses. Believe it or not, they're prescription glasses. When I put these glasses on, I'm able to improve my vision because there's a particular lens that I'm able to see the world. My argument, or the point I would make, is that most people that view Kevin Samuels as being the way, the truth, and the light, you only see your people through the lens of productivity, through the lens of anti-blackness. That says the only way you can have value to me is unless you conform to the standards that mainstream has. I.e., if I can't have me no big house and a white picket fence with a dog and kids, and you already got kids, then I can't do nothing with you. I talked about plantation patriarchy. We can be able to do a study that's able to give you a genealogy for the way in which black men, myself included, have tried to develop and exert power and domination and get positions with using standards that we learn from the plantation, i.e. the white man, i.e. the master, i.e. the master signifier in masculinity and manhood that it seemed like all y'all be going for. Especially when it's like, hey, black feminism is always already bad because y'all say it comes from white feminism. Never the mind that black feminism is created to critique white feminism. The same individuals can make those, hey, well, this come from this and this is bad, and it come from this, it's always bad. Y'all don't make those same type of extrapolations when it comes to talking about every speaking point you have about misandry, every speaking point you have about how women are impressing you, every speaking point you have about men's rights literally comes from not only white men, but white men that are anti-black, not only anti-black towards women in terms of black women, but also anti-black towards you. But I did it though. That's the reason why you slang at the L so much, trying to prove your manhood and masculinity to a white man that will never give a damn about you anyway. That's the reason why I say again, during the pandemic, boys got so lost in the sauce and trying to prove they damn selves, and it showed that humanity, where instead of being more consumed and centering what's going on in the community, they were more consumed with building a platform around male domination because they ain't dominating enough.
These folks are upset that these folks are giving the energy that he was putting out. Let me tell you something. I'm one of them folks, I don't really care about death like that. Like, it's not one of those things where I feel like I have to respect somebody. once you do stuff like that, people can critique you beyond the grave, girl. People will critique me beyond the grave, and girl, I won't care. I will not. I'll be dead, girl. I'll be worms food. Okay, I won't be caring about that.
Oh God,
I won't have a consciousness to even care. But this fake as, oh, we need to be respecting him. Like, this is not right. We don't want to. We value life. If you value life and death, then you need to be valuing life when people are living and being disrespected and harmed. That man was causing a lot of.
So you have to ask the question almost. Why is the moral outrage of you feeling like Kevin Samuels has been offended weighs more than the people that Kevin Samuels offended? Why? You know how in math class, when you feel me, right now my daughter's in the first grade. She's learned the greater than, less than, equal to sign. So not even getting philosophical and throwing nothing out, right? This is simple, greater than, less than, equal to. Why is the followers of Kevin Samuels being offended have more weight than the women that Kevin Samuels offended? Why? And don't say offended don't mean nothing, because just like y'all see the shit he was saying as being truthful and offended people, I see the shit I'm saying as being truthful and offending people. So how do we distinctly give this Pepsi challenge to be able to tell what's credible and what's legitimate? Does the people that say they offended matter? So if I build a career of talking shit about ants and I die, the ant community start to celebrate my death, is y'all gonna act stupid and act like y'all don't know why ants don't like me? Is y'all gonna do that? I hope y'all don't do that, man.
Online, constantly berating Black women, constantly. And what is her?
Hey, and Tony, I don't know if you've seen it, Tony, so I'm gonna ask the question again. Why is the followers of Kevin Samuels being offended valued or greater than the people that Kevin Samuels offended when he was building his career? Power and domination literally comes down to what matters, why does it matter, and to whom does it matter? So when I ask the question, should we feel sorry for them? That is not a universal question. I'm begging the question for whom, because I recognize that interpretations vary. As a former debater, former debate coach, I know that interpretations vary. And the reason why we have debates, or the reason why we exchange dialogue, is to be able to meet in the, you know what I'm saying, in the middle, to recognize how they vary. Get back to the video though.
Curious about this man will drag fat Black women for being unhealthy and unfit and all this other stuff, and then literally died on top of a woman from chest pain, from probably having a heart attack and all the other stuff. Like, honestly, the liberation of fat folks will actually help somebody like Kevin Samuels, because you can't perceive someone to be healthy based off of their weight. And that's what doctors do a lot of times.
Hello, y'all. As a debater, when you make an argument, you always have to attach an impact to your argument, because otherwise we don't give a damn. He's saying, hey, listen, when non-fat people engage in fat phobia like Kevin Samuels, it literally makes you ignore your internal health and your own health, because you believe you fit the surface level of body niceness. So because Kevin Samuels felt like his body was congruent with what is deemed and seen as healthy, he literally ignored his own health because, hey, he ain't fat. So we see how literally subscribing to these different understandings and ideologies about fat Black women had led to death. Not only does it create a unsafe environment for fat Black women that you can talk about them, berate them, devalue, denigrate them, it also creates an environment for you to ignore your own shit because you're more concerned with the fat person. This man was literally going off, had y'all wild ass going to Lizzo's comment section talking shit about her being a fat performer and being unhealthy. And then he croaked over for being unhealthy. And listen too, it's how I know too, right? I believe it's projection when y'all start talking about, well, y'all don't like Kevin Samuels because he's being real. I'm not calling Kevin Samuels out of his name. I'm not talking about his family members. I'm not saying he is this thing because of who he is. I'm saying I have these criticisms for what he did. And as a man, seeing what another man got going on, if I can't have an analysis about what's going on, this shit, what's we really doing? And for people that's like, well, consciously, why we can't do that to you? Hey, let's do it. Let's have the conversation while I'm alive. Don't dodge me how Kevin Samuels did when he was alive, because I know how TikTok worked. Just like all you weak-ass Kevin Samuels fans are able to find my TikTok videos, Kevin Samuels seen them videos too. Yeah, I know. I ain't a fool. I recognize that TikTok is the #1 app in the world. So when people is hiding and picking and choosing, you feel me, which one of the Kevin Samuel detractors that want to come at, I find it funny y'all ain't picked me yet, especially because y'all swear up and down on pick me. So this is why I sprinkle a little intersexual analysis and get back to kicking Kevin Samuels again, right? I don't understand. This don't make any sense, right? When I talk about advocating for advocating against homophobia or advocating for gay people, y'all say I'm down low. Feel me? Y'all, you down low, you really gay. But then y'all forget y'all said that weird shit. And then when I start advocating for women progression, y'all say, oh, he only doing that because he's trying to get something. So damn, which one of y'all, you know what I mean? This speaks volumes of y'all character. Y'all act just like white folks sometimes. Hey, man, I'm not worried about what's going on with the Negroes because it ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm not worried about it till it's on my front door. Hey, if you care about women, you obviously must be a woman, or you must be. If you care about gay people, you obviously must be. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? But listen, though, this next video, you feel me? This is the part right here for everybody who listen to this video for educational purposes. And too, you watching this video for debate purposes, make your little video. I'll respond if I think it's good. Listen, no, peep gang, right? This next clip I'm about to play. Before I even seen this clip, I knew Kevin Samuels because he older to be my dad. I'm thinking like, bro, why did you look at women the same way my 9th and 10th graders did when I was teaching English? Something insidious about the strategic way you go about making your message and giving your message. And I started thinking, right, man, you just saying that Kevin Samuels talked about men too. He only talked about women. He talked about men too. When I play this video, ask yourself, what point in Kevin Samuels' career was he at when he made this video? Ask yourself, what is he saying, and how does it provide tension to all the reasons why we know him? And then the last thing, what made him switch up? Y'all ready for this video? I ain't even going. I'm gonna go all the way through.
They will overlook and not diagnose a thin person because they don't look like they're unhealthy. Versus someone who's fat, we get overly diagnosed. They'll be looking, they won't even find the problem because they'll link everything to obesity. And it's like, girl, it's actually not obesity. But your anti-fatness is so strong that that's all you see. I just find this hilarious. Like this man who was talking about folks being unhealthy and fat, all this other stuff, died from something like this at his early age, because 56 is actually not old at all. Make you think about it.
Studies show, regardless of how you feel about, you know what I'm saying, Kevin Samuels, right? Studies show most black men, a lot of black men, we come to death in our 50s. You know what I mean? So when we're making analysis about how women make our lives harder, you miss Andrew Tate, which I do. Why aren't you thinking about the ways in which you can improve black life, improve your male life, improve your, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's what we're getting into.
And a lot of times guys don't want to hear that truth. We just don't. You know, if I come on here talking about, you know, female nature, such and so forth, and if I would start bashing women or talking noise, oh man, the likes and everything would go through the roof. But when you start talking to men and say, guys, you know, cheap is some of the most expensive stuff out there. You got.
Let's first take a look.
No. I don't want to say nothing yet. Let's just internalize what he's saying. The points that's being made right here, and then we're gonna unpackage it, because there's a lot of facetiousness. There is a lot of grifting going on. There's a lot of tap dancing going on. There's a lot of selling out. There's a lot of, you know, self-interested things that are being, happening, that people are saying it's because they're speaking truth.
And a lot of times guys don't want to hear that truth. We just don't. You know, if I come on here talking about, you know, female nature, such and so forth, and if I would start bashing women or talking noise, oh man, the likes and everything would go through the roof. But when you start talking to men and say, guys, you know, cheap is some of the most expensive stuff out there. You got
guys, cheap is come on, man. Come on, man. So we see an individual that explained to you exactly what they would do. Right now, I'm not getting a lot of views because I'm telling men what's going on. I'm going to keep on doing that because that's what needs. I know my views will go through the roof if I start talking down on women, but I'm not going to do that. And then what he did? What'd he do? Tory Lanez. In this talk about Tory Lanez and whether we should feel sorry for him, let's just acknowledge how there's more moral outrage for a rapper being shot before we know him as a rapper than this black woman was when she was a Grammy Award winner. To me, I think in terms of power, domination, and value, that illustrates a lot. Second thing I want to say, to everybody that's pushing misinformation, saying, hey, I don't know how Tory Lanez was found guilty because they found Kelsey's handprints on the gun. They ain't found his handprints on the gun. You don't know what inconclusive means. Inconclusive means it cannot be proven true. It cannot be proven false. I also want to acknowledge this false paradigm people operate under that says, hey, listen, if I believe you lie in this instance, I believe you can be always already untruthful in every instance. The law don't work like that. There was 3 witnesses that took the stand. 3 witnesses. That's a part of evidence as well. 3 of them. All 3 of them said that Tory Lanez had a gun. Not only did all 3 of them say that Tory Lanez had a gun, the witness that Tory Lanez's team brought up said that the little man was shooting everywhere. So, when it comes to power and domination, we know that women, especially black women, are going to be held to a high extent of persecution than anybody else, right? What do we hear during the case? Meg lied. Meg lied to Gayle King because she lied and said that she ain't sleep with him, and she really did. Tory Lanez made a whole album about how Meg Thee Stallion did not get shot and she stepped on glass. And then when they got up there, you know what his legal teams acknowledged? That she was shot. Want to be clear. When I acknowledge that, you know, George Zimmerman shot Trayvon Martin and got away with it, I'm acknowledging that there are errors within the system. I'm acknowledging the system is an imperfect one that always has a disproportionate impact on black people. Sprinkling nuance. I don't need the law to be able to tell me that he shot her. Before he was found guilty, I felt like he shot her. All the evidence that I find say he shot her. Kelsey, did Tory Lanez, did Mr. Peterson pay for your lawyer? I don't know. You don't know. Hey, Mr. Harris, did Tory Lanez offer you some money? It wasn't exactly like that. So, when a rapper is shot, that we know, because I talked about how, you know what I'm saying, 50 Cent got shot 9 times. We had more sympathy, 50 Cent getting shot 9 times as Curtis Jackson than we had for Megan as Meg Thee Stallion, and she was Meg Thee Stallion when she got shot. But you know what I'm saying, go back to the analysis, right? When we start talking about gun violence in our community, and we start talking about how we should care about gun violence in our community, why wasn't that extended to what happened to Meg Thee Stallion? When I was in college, my senior year in college, I was competing for a first round bid in the policy debate community. First round bid means it's like how, you know, how college basketball got where you can be ranked in the top 16 and you automatically qualify for the March Madness tournament. College debate is like that the same way, right? My senior year, me and my debate partner, not only already a first round bid, we really contending for the Heisman Trophy. It's called the Copeland debate. One of the rounds that I will always remember that me and Rashid Campbell lost was to a team in Vermont. This native girl and this black girl, this native woman and this black woman beat me and my partner, the Rashid, and I think it was the quarterfinals of the USC tournament about domestic violence. And when I was young coming up, I was the biggest Boosie fan you probably would ever meet. I'm talking about I could probably go find old videos of me in college policy debate rounds, ending my speeches in free Boosie. In this round, I talked about, it was a line where I said, and mama raised me to hate a cop. Sorry, motherfucking life, I hated cops. For y'all that don't know how debate work, you feel me? Debate usually work off of a person is able to make an argument based off of what link you give them. A link argument. You need a link argument to be able to make an argument about something else. Me reading this lyric or me saying this lyric from Boosie, my daddy raised me to hate a cop. Sorry, motherfucking life, I hated cops. Kyla and Taylor, you know what I'm saying, native girl. Kyla, you feel me, black woman from Jersey, shout out to Jersey. Got on me and Rashid ass about domestic violence, specifically how it impacts black women. And what me and Rashid learned through this debate when we lost on, I think, a 3-2. But going back on it, I think we lost. What I learned from that was about domestic violence, and I learned specifically about how the law, the institution, the system orients itself towards black women. There's a definite I'll just let that go, man. I just, you feel me? We doing it. And then this right here, this the reason why I'm making it. Quintel says, this dude pandered to women, feminism, and white agendas. Talk about how these rappers talk about women and literally killing us. Fuck this gossip bullshit. This is what he recognized. The same way that you're able to indict this bullshit right here, I think that we're making a debate. This links more to you than it does to me. Only a white supremacist agenda is going to try to ignore the way in which black women are devalued or how violence happens to black women. That is a white supremacist agenda. When Malcolm X in 1950 says that black women is the most disrespected in the world, we see that in 2022, that still holds true. And I know damn well you ain't gonna say Malcolm X was simping and pandering, was you? To me, it literally becomes where y'all do the same shit that your white conservative counterparts do. If we acknowledge power or oppression, it obviously equals pandering. There's no way to talk about structural disparities without talking about, hey, man, you simping, man. Huey P. Newton gave this speech in 1960s about women liberation and homosexual liberation, and talked about how women's liberation and gay liberation was integral to black liberation because, black women and gay black people exist. Black gay people, black women exist, right? So when we talk about, again, individuals pandering into feminism, listen, I'm an advocate against white feminism. I don't fuck with white feminism in no way, shape, or fashion. As a matter of fact, as a black man, I recognize how white feminism was used to literally perpetuate the criminality and monstrosity of black masculinity. I recognize from reading people like Bell Hooks, reading people like Patricia Hill Collins, reading these authors about the parasiticness of white feminism. And this right here, how I know a lot of y'all don't read. You see what I'm saying? Listen, if you listen to this video and you felt like specifically these two pseudo-intellectuals and you agree with what they say, if you agree with the ideology that Andrew Tate was pushing, or you agree with the ideology that Kevin Samuels was pushing, and you agree with this comment right here about pandering and a white agenda, we can have this debate. I'm going to win every day of the week that what you are defending aligns more with, perpetuates more of the white agenda than what I'm doing. I'm going to win the debate every week. And listen, my email is info@theconsciouslead.com. Info@theconsciouslead.com. If you want your ass intellectually whooped, hit that email right there. You can pick whether I speak first, whether I speak last, and how long the speeches are going to be. I'm going to kick your ass on you linking more to the white agenda and white supremacy than y'all ever could dream of. If anybody want to take me up on a debate, again, info@theconsciouslead.com, or you can go to my my website, theconsciouslead.com, literally go into contact me and say, hey, Conscious Lee was talking that shit on YouTube very passionately with that fire. I want him to have that same energy in this debate. I'm challenging him to, and I guarantee you I'm gonna come there. I'm gonna come there. I'm gonna be there. You feel me? I'm not gonna run. Hey, listen, hey, Quintel, you specifically, Quintel, I'm calling you out, Quintel. I want you to have this same keyboard warrior energy as you would have in 4K for me to look you in your eyes, fam, and let you know, hey, whoever raised you this way, I'm disappointed in them in more ways than some. Not only am I disappointed in them, I'm disappointed in you, and I'm gonna give you the lesson your ass should have got years ago. And unfortunately, the Lord and the ancestors didn't place me around you for you to get this lesson a lot earlier in your life, Quintel. Tell that, nigga. And whoever else want it, y'all can line up, get in line, get a number, and I will knock y'all down like dominoes. You can pick again. Like this go for Quintel and everybody else that got an issue with what I said. I really do this debate shit. you see my shirt? It's like professional shit talker. I stand behind that 10 toes down. They say you stay ready, you ain't never got to get ready. So if you think that what I'm doing is implicated within the white agenda, white supremacy, he quoted, let's debate. Pepsi challenge. You ain't about what you be talking about. And you know what? I got time, energy, and effort to go and show you about it. But if you're going to just stay in the comment section and just clout chase for a little attention, for me to be able to recognize your input and get the dopamine release, then keep your ass in the comment section. But if you're about that intellectual work and really, you know what I'm saying, education is elevation and trying to really quantify some claims, then again, info@theconsciouslead.com. Info@theconsciouslead.com. But other than that, Quintel, go on about your goddamn business, man. But listen, though, back to the Tory Lanez, right? The evidence, we all know, hey, listen, I got a cousin that's doing life. I got family members in jail right now. Every jail phone call you get always goes, this call is subject to monitoring and recording. Before you accept this call, press. So the so-called Canadian street nigga got on the phone where they told him this call is subject to monitoring and recording. Got on that phone and told on himself. What part of the game is that? What part of the game is that? Huh? What? So y'all don't understand the distinction between the public opinion of the people and the opinion of the court? Y'all caught up in the people's opinion, the people's court opinion, not the legal court opinion. That's wild. That's wild and foul. Especially listen like this. The same individuals, when I was making my Kevin Samuels analysis, that was in the comment section talking about how, hey, man, you ain't saying this about rap, about how rappers talk about killing each other and this, that, and the other, is the same individuals that are now defending a rapper who made career out of talking about shooting people. You're defending them shooting a black woman. The aha, catch your moment you're trying to create is not there. Let's get back to the comment section. Oh, yeah, just to make sure it's clear. Oh, hold on. Info@theconsciously. The consciously. I gonna put it right here to make sure, because I ain't listen. I'm a debater. I've been itching and scratching to kick somebody's ass up into 2023 to bring it in right. So if Quintel or any one of you other, men's right activists want to get down with it, we can get down with it. And I'm gonna let you know. Hey, listen. If I can't go to my son, I'm gonna let y'all know I'm gonna play you. You feel me? If I can't go to your page and see you make any analysis about how the capitalist system use men, how the military industrial complex use men, goddamn, how the corporate industry is using to exploit men's labor uniquely, and you only got that shit against women, you a sucker. On my mama, you a sucker. You feel me? On your mama, you a sucker. Yeah. 10 toes down. If you make these subjective, hey man, listen, I only care about this when Kevin Samuels said, you a sucker. You a hoe. How I said in Bryan, Texas, you a hoe. In this instance, because hoe in Texas South, it can be a colloquial, that can be a thing, an object, a person, it could be an ad. You know what I'm saying? This instance is bad, hoe bad. Like what? So now we got grown ass men in the name of men empowerment trying to defend a proclaimed professional fighter going back and forth with a 19-year-old white girl. We got the same people trying to justify a quote-unquote gangster Canadian rapper for shooting a black woman for saying that his stature is like his career is short. We got the same people that's also being like, man, The way in which you offend me as a Kevin Samuels supporter matters more than how Kevin Samuels built his career and offended people. Sucker shit. info@theconsciously.com. That's the email you go to. Get you a number, stand in line. Go for everybody. You can pick whether I speak first or last. You can pick the speech time. You can pick, you feel me, how many speeches we give. Like, I'm really ready for this, especially because we have so many claims about feminism and about gender wars. And it's to get ready to end this live, right? I'm going to win this every day of the week. I'm waiting on one of y'all to challenge me on it. Oppression to men is seen as a tragedy. Oppression to women is seen as a tradition. I'm going to make an analysis about how the way in which you view women, it comes from the colonizer, meaning that idea of how you orient towards gender did not exist when the white man believed that the world was flat, meaning before the white man started navigating the world, when Native Americans were able to live without settler colonists, you feel me? When people of West Africa and East Africa were able to live without settler colonists, I'm going to win that the way in which you view gender was brought uniquely by white supremacy colonizers. I'm going to win that the way in which African people and indigenous people of the Americas orient themselves towards gender, the white man or colonizers or Europeans use that to justify them as being uncivilized. I'm going to pull out receipts to show that the way in which you view masculinity, it comes from the plantation, i.e. plantation patriarchy. I'll rest my case, Your Honor. And really think I'm so cold in it, I'm giving you my argument. That's the argument you prepare for. You feel me? The type of debate I came from, we said that preparation was good. So because I think I'm so nasty in debate, I just gave you the 3 arguments I'm making the big picture. You think about that action? Let's do it. But if you're going to be in the comment section just swinging at the L, then do that. Again, last time, the conscious, right there, info@theconsciously.com. If you want to debate. Thank you for everybody that tuned in, all the support, all the comments, whether you was hating or you was not hating. I appreciate you because you added weight to my content in the algorithm, and I appreciate you for that. Your time, your effort, your engagement, whether you was sending affirmation or negations. You see what I'm saying? Whether you was trying to be like, man, I learned something, or nigga always talking about, I appreciate you for your engagement because, hey, it all does what it does, how it does, when it does what it does, you know. As the other content creator, they'll tell you, man. If you're interested in getting your own professional shit talking hoodie, go to theconsciously.com. Got them in all colors. You'll be able to grab them. Be on the lookout on my next video. I got Dish Dialogue, a new segment that's coming. And then bi-weekly, I'll be doing something I'm calling office hours merch. Advertising promotion to be coming real soon. I appreciate y'all again. It's been real. Reach over me.